It's one thing to take a chance on love on 90 Day Fiancé, but these cast members excel at purposefully making poor choices. Anyone can make poor decisions they later come to regret. Nonetheless, some 90 Day Fiancé celebrities are infamous for failing to consider the ramifications of their decisions. They are prone to making poor decisions because of something in their character. Their perception of reality may be warped at that point, but they will live with the memory of a bad choice for the rest of their lives, possibly blaming others or themselves if it happens again. Throughout their waking hours, a person can make thousands of poor choices. However, the repercussions are harsh when a 90 Day Fiancé star does it. The 90 Day Fiancé star instantly becomes well-known and causes viewers to question everything they do, particularly when their decisions have a cascading effect on all subsequent decisions they make in their relationship. Their relationships are at risk in addition to their development as reality TV stars and potential 90 Day Fiancé villains. Moving to South Africa to marry a man she barely knew was Tiffany's worst decision. Soon enough, the truth about Ronald Smith came to light. He had a gambling problem and was concealing a troubled past. After robbing his mother's home, he made money by selling her belongings. Despite this, Tiffany married Ronald and they had a kid together. In addition to marrying Ronald, Tiffany has a son named Daniel from a prior relationship. The youngster began referring to Ronald as his father, and his mother and stepfather's frequent separations devastated him. Given Ronald's criminal history, Tiffany may have foreseen that he would never be eligible for an American visa. Tiffany made the decision to break things off permanently in 90 Day, the single life. She dated a man who reciprocated her feelings but eventually returned to Ronald. When Daniel was seen advising Tiffany about dating, Tiffany felt humiliated. But it was clear that Tiffany had erred once more. Ronald had betrayed her. When she discovered he was also seeing someone else, she was forced to leave him. Hopefully, Tiffany has realized by now that she cannot get back together with Ronald. Since it seems that Larissa left her children in Brazil to pursue the life she had always desired in the United States, she continues to face criticism for being an absent mother. Larissa rarely shares anything about her children on social media, but she had previously talked about bringing them to America, which she never did. The relationship between Larissa and Colt was characterized by frequent disputes that occasionally turned physical, with Larissa invariably ending up in jail. Larissa could have been interested in getting a green card, but she could have left Colt right away. Larissa began altering her body after her divorce. She had numerous cosmetic treatments done from head to toe because she wanted to seem like a blow-up doll. She apparently lost more than $70,000 in the first round. Despite years of warnings from followers about the consequences of her habit, Larissa apparently didn't stop until after a botched surgery. Garcia, once a successful musician in Los Angeles, Gibra ended up having to move to South Dakota to live with his parents after spending all of his money traveling with his Siberian girlfriend. Miona requested that they go to Los Angeles because she didn't like the location. Miona didn't comprehend that Gibra was experiencing financial difficulties as a result of his relationship. Before Miona began to yearn for it, the pair began showing off their opulent lifestyle on Instagram by posing in luxury clothes and with gaudy cars. Because Gibra lacked motivation, Miona abandoned him. She might have thought Gibra was living off her money as she claimed to have made $1 million selling hairpieces. Gibra's marriage to Miona, who was solely concerned with his bank account, was his worst error. As soon as she found someone else, she apparently broke up with him. 90 Days Gino, the fiancé, also bought Jasmine Pineda with his savings. Gino was using his money after being put off from his work so Jasmine could pass the time in her flat by the sea. When Jasmine relocated to the United States, she clearly anticipated Gino to treat her like royalty. But Gino was growing weary of her mishandling the funds. She was purchasing improperly placed implants with the funds intended for her bridal gown. Gino was unaware that Jasmine would always be dependent on him for financial support. Gino intended to make a bride out of a sugar baby after searching for love on a website for sugar daddies. Because of their frequent disputes, Gino began to lose interest in his wife. He ignored Jasmine when she reportedly told Gino that Matt was her gay pal and found a new lover at her gym. Gino surely wished he had not chosen to wed Jasmine. She never gave him a child or the contented married life he so desperately desired. Garcia. Even before he made his series debut, Lauren had already made a number of dubious decisions. His desire to relocate to the Philippines was so intense that he appeared to be fleeing something. At one point, Lauren wanted to stay in the nation and avoid returning to the United States, even if he could marry Faith Tudok's elderly mother. Lauren was accused by his ex-wife of leaving their 2 children behind. He had little funds and worked 3 jobs. Without a roof over his head, Lauren slept with others in order to stay at their house. While pretending to be Faith's boyfriend for 6 months, Lauren had other companions in the United States. Lauren traveled to the Philippines to meet Faith despite having gonorrhea during one of his liaisons. When Lauren appeared to threaten Faith with a butter knife and broke cans using his head and bare hands, Faith began to glimpse his true colors. When Faith left him and he returned home, it wasn't shocking. But Lauren had more poor choices to make. Within a year, he divorced her and married another trans lady a few weeks later. Darcy didn't have to travel abroad in search of love just because a man considerably younger than her was showing interest in her. She appeared to lack confidence, and any attention, even from someone who obviously didn't love her, was enough to make Darcy fantasize about being married. When she started dating Tom Brooks, she made a mistake that she never learned from. Georgie Rusev was also not a catch. He was hiding things from Darcy, such the fact that he was still wed to his former spouse. Darcy, like Larissa, is never content with her appearance. Despite having multiple surgeries, she continues to apply filters to seem flawless on social media. Despite their 2 failed engagements, Darcy married Georgie on a whim and has since made several references to a breakup. Darcy doesn't even appear ashamed of what transpired. Andre, a Moldovan man, got into problems on the show and in his personal life because of his conceit.